This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotatonetwork.com.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. I need all the image, I need all the sound. I know the info right into my mind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trial by Pilot. This is the show where we judge an entire series of television on the work of hundreds. Wait, I fucked it up.
Wait, what did you say?
I think I cut out a part. Hey everybody, welcome back to Trial by Pilot. This is the show where we judge an entire series of television and the work of hundreds on one episode. I'm Bill Lynch.
I'm Elizabeth Lynch.
Wow,
Isn't that what you said?
130 plus episodes. And I fucked it up. My streak is broken.
It only took me one time to mess it up, Bill. But I'm a bit of an overachiever.
This is my formal resignation. I don't...
No, I cannot do this shit.
You don't want to talk about Dragon's Dogma by yourself?
No. I'm going to give everybody one guess. We're talking about Dragon's Dogma this week, and I want to know, who do you think chose this show?
Listen.
It's an anime style? Is this anime?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Americanized anime.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
What's Americanized about it that the guy's so fucking jacked that he's always shirtless and he's ripped and she has like enormous breasts, but she's like in like peasant clothes?
Who? His wife?
His wife.
She was pregnant.
I know, but there's just like a lot of cleavage. It's just funny. Like you have to like, okay, I'm gonna keep drawing. I'm doing drawing motions.
Oh my gosh. Elizabeth is making a big, curvy...
Big boob drawing motion.
Great. Listen, we've been looking for the next great fantasy epic series for a long time.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. News to me.
Hey, you watched and enjoyed Game of Thrones? Most of it.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, most of it.
Dragon's Dogma is not that.
No, I don't know what they were going for because the opening to it was... Well, the opening credits had a very Game of Thrones feel to it.
They did. To me, they felt very much like Skyrim, which is this like very famous role-playing video game.
Okay.
A very similar animation style, like really fine detail, like really dark, like things like slowly turning 3D animation. It looked like good. The animation was good.
I was so impressed.
Yeah. And even like the animation of the actual characters was fine. Well, you know what? Let's
just get into it because...
So real quick, this is based off a video game series as well. Another role-playing video game called Dragon's Dogma.
What?
Which was released in
You don't say.
Which was released in 2012. Why?
I just feel like everything's based off of something else.
It is an anime animated series. Have you ever watched any anime whatsoever?
I mean, I want to say maybe in like grade school, I watched
really?
like a little Sailor Moon, but I never got into it. Like I'd seen it,
Yeah.
after school or something.
Yeah, I never watched that. So I never watched anything growing up, any anime growing up.
Any TV? You finished your sentence too quickly for me.
You finished your sentence too slowly. Until maybe a year or two ago, I watched Avatar, The Last Airbender, which was an anime series, but it was made in America for Nickelodeon back in the day. Mm-hmm. And so the style was a little bit different, but it was still anime. It was so good. I watched the full series.
How many seasons was it?
I think it was 3.
Okay.
And, short episodes, so it was very palatable. It was great.
Do you think Billy would like it? Or is he too young?
He's probably a little bit too young. There is some...
Violence.
There is, yeah. It's like very toned down violence for Nickelodeon, but there is violence. Yeah,
Okay.
they fight on the show.
Yeah, he's too young.
So he's too young for it. Maybe in like 6 months when he's 4. But it was great. The animation was great. All of the characters were so good. It really had heart. And Since then, I have watched Castlevania on Netflix. Have I talked about the show to you at all? Or on the podcast?
No, maybe on the podcast.
I think I have on the podcast. It's also an animated series on Netflix based on a video game, Castlevania, which is like this like famous video game from like the 80s or 90s. It's so incredible. I can't even describe, like you would never expect this out of an animated show if you weren't already like watching animated series. The action is so good. It's dark. It's really fucking dark.
Yeah.
I mean, the premise of the first 2 seasons, like the main antagonist of the first 2 seasons is Dracula.
Okay.
Or like Vlad, whatever. It's so good. I cried at the end of the second season.
This show made you cry?
I feel like I must have mentioned this. The finale of, I think it was the penultimate episode of the second season, was just gut-wrenching, and it had one of the best fight scenes like I've ever seen on television. Like it just is so good. I can't stop gushing about it, but I'll try.
What? I feel like you've not talked to me about this
Yeah,
show.
I mean, I don't know if you would be into it. It's like a really dark action anime. I don't know if it's anime. It's an American animated show.
Okay.
It's so good. And so when I saw that Dragon's Dogma was coming out, very similar thing, based on a video game RPG, animated for Netflix. The very quick synopsis of the show: Ethan sets out to vanquish the dragon that took his heart, losing his humanity with every demon he battles. Sounds like it could be cool. Figured we watch it.
Not a little overly dramatic.
Of course. It was short. It was like 22 minutes or 24 minutes. Deep sigh.
What a disappointment, huh? After hearing you gush about those 2 shows.
I mean, really, I was like pumped. I was like, oh, cool. This will be like another like dark animated show that I can watch.
Sorry, bud.
It's all right. All right, let's talk about Dragon's Dogma now that everyone knows our full feelings on this show.
We hate it.
So Ethan, the protagonist, walks through this burning village, and he sees Olivia, his wife. But as they like reach out or start to talk to each other, she turns to ash and like fades away as this dragon emerges from the smoke.
And then a choir starts singing.
Okay, here's what I don't understand. The animation for most of this show, like the characters, look like, animation. Someone like hand drew it. It looks fine. It looked good. The dragon was this fucking awful CGI. Awful.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed for myself
for watching it.
For getting you to watch it. Like, it was so bad. I don't understand who
for the listeners right now who have to listen to us talk about it.
I will post pictures on our social media. I mean, I don't understand how they came to that conclusion. Like, oh, we should make the dragon with this and make it look like a piece of fucking clip art from 1997 that you would use in like a comedy show about a dragon. Are you recording me?
I should have started earlier.
You should have started way earlier.
Because your face was so... Yeah.
And so the dragon comes out and it swipes at him as he like wakes up from this dream topless, and he's ripped as hell.
Yeah, this is where I'm going to just jump in here. I'm just kidding. I was not turned on by this. It was distracting.
It was distracting.
It was distracting because it was just like so over the top.
Yeah, I mean, he was like shredded with like an 8-pack.
And you could see like every like ripple of his muscles. It was too much.
Well, you don't want to watch an anime series and the hero has like a dad bod.
That's not what I'm saying. Unless you're watching King of the Hill. That's not what I'm saying though. It was just like it was too much. It was over the top.
Yeah. And so now we get this opening that we talked about already. And so he wakes up and his wife Olivia is alive and she's pregnant. And a neighbor boy comes over to eat breakfast. We find out that he lost his parents. And so Ethan and Olivia have been kind of taking care of him. And then Ethan takes him out hunting. And as they're walking through the town, the boy calls these 2 soldiers who are like very clearly drunk, pathetic, and they overhear him. And so they come over and they like threaten them both. until their captain comes out and tells them like, hey, get back to work. You're there to guard the village against dragons, even though there hasn't been one there in 100 years. And then Ethan...
Kid's so stupid. Did he bother you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was very annoying. So they are out in the woods now hunting, and the boy shoots a deer. But as he's like running over to go up to the deer, Ethan's like, wait, stop. And a wolf appears and dodges an arrow, and there's a whole pack of wolves there. And Ethan's like, go get help. I'll hold them off. So the boy runs to get help.
I'll hold off this entire pack of wolves.
Well, he's like clearly some guy who knows
He's
his way
jacked.
around an app cruncher. And so the boy runs to get help back at this garrison, and as the soldiers are getting ready, some clouds roll in overhead, and it gets really dark. And back up in the woods, the wolves are like just about to attack, but then they all whimper and run away as this like swirling cloud forms overhead and reveals a huge red dragon. Again, awful. Why would you not just animate it like everything else? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And so the dragon is just like wrecking shit in this village, burning everything down. People are getting like blown up. And so Lewis, this boy, finds Olivia and tries to get her to safety. And finally, after traveling through the town and like a bunch of soldiers get blown up by the dragon, Ethan finds Olivia and Lewis. And Lewis is like, okay, I'll go out and make sure it's okay to go out of here. And he like goes into like a street as this dragon flies through and snatches him up and eats him. And we see the dragon like eat this kid.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. And Ethan grabs a sword and tries to fight the dragon, but the dragon like knocks him back easily into the stone wall and then rears up and breathes fire down on Olivia and kills her and the unborn child. And then he leans down and he talks to Ethan.
Brave human, dost thou hate me? Not fear, but truly hate me? When thou peers into the dark peers into thee.
Bill, that was amazing.
I'm going to try to do like some effect where my voice sounds like a dragon voice.
It'll be exactly how they did it in the show.
And the dragon eats like a glowing heart that comes out of Ethan's chest. But it was like really his heart because he has a giant scar across his chest. I don't fucking know. And
Ate his heart.
And then he has a dream where Ethan has a dream where Olivia is telling him like, please don't be consumed by rage. And he wakes up and this is where we see this like giant wound over his heart. And as he like gets up and like goes out into this village and he's like the only survivor, a mysterious woman approaches him saying that she is his protector. And his wound on his chest starts to glow as she holds out her hand. And there's a similar wound on her hand that begins to glow. Also from the dragon? I don't know. The dragon took his heart and took her muscle that makes you have carpal tunnel syndrome? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, what did you take out?
And that was the pilot to Dragon's Dogma on Netflix.
Wow, what a journey.
What did you think?
Oh my god, I really did not like this, but I didn't think I was going to. Not that I didn't give it a chance, because like I said in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, this beginning is kind of neat. Like, I can get over some of this, like, the fact that it's, like, not my typical thing.
Yeah.
But it just, there were some, like, it was just, the dialogue was so weird. The voices were weird.
I mean, the dialogue was also so lazy.
Yeah,
it was
terrible.
I mean, it was the most cookie cutter, like, fantasy dialogue you could imagine. There was nothing interesting about it.
Was it translated?
No, I don't think so. I think it was produced for Netflix like this.
That's insane.
Yeah. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure.
It was not good. It reminded me, like, the way it sounded of, like, when I watched Dark using, like, dubbing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. Like, it was so weird. But there were like times where not just the dragon, there were other like parts of animation that were so like, it was just so inconsistent. The animation was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And there were some parts, like, now that you say it was from a video game, it made sense because there were some things when you see things from Ethan's perspective, like his viewpoint,
Yeah.
it reminded me, I guess, of like video game animation a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, now I like this show.
Oh, I think-
I never got it before.
but I don't know. I wasn't into it. I'm certainly not interested in what happens.
Yeah, I would like to think that I'm just being harsh because I was coming into this with high hopes, at least, if not expectations, and thinking back on how much I have enjoyed Castlevania. But holy shit, man, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. I cannot stress enough how terrible the dragon looked.
It was like you made it it's like you made it in computer class in 6th grade.
Yes.
That's what it looked like.
It looks so
Like,
bad.
oh, did you guys finish your typing? Okay, now you can play with the computer.
And this is the main
video game.
antagonist of this series. It looks
Yeah.
so bad.
It was bad.
And you know what? I mean, it was really unforgivable. I was going to say maybe you could forgive it if, like, the writing was really interesting, but it wasn't.
Listen, if someone really did make this in 6th grade in their computer class, then I think it was great.
Yes.
Truly, I'm impressed. But beyond that, this was not good.
Yeah. I don't even want to belabor the point too much because we've already complained enough about it.
Yeah,
It was
everyone gets it.
Yeah. So I would not recommend this. Go watch Avatar. Go watch Legend of Korra. Go watch Castlevania. And of course, there's like a ton of other well-known animes that I've never watched, but that other people really like. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. I've toyed around with maybe going back and watching some of those. We'll see. Some people have said like, they're like,
Is Pokemon anime?
yes-ish.
Do you want to tell everyone how you spoke to me and Pikachu on our first date?
No, I don't.
I was like, what the fuck's going on?
I better get married to this guy. ASAP.
It was weird. We were nervous.
ASAP 9 years later. All right. Do you recommend Dragon's Dogma? Do you think Dragon's Dogma will get a second season?
Nope. I mean, maybe it'll get a second season.
Maybe it will. I have no idea what kind of following this video game has. I had never heard of it because I didn't play video games at all for those 8 years.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to think if you would have any interest in Castlevania because it's so good, but it's really fucking dark. I mean,
I'll give it a shot.
I mean, like the bad guys are vampires and like demons from hell, and they like just straight up murder people.
Really?
But man, the characters are so good.
I would say it's maybe
complex.
worth it.
The characters are very complex. Even Dracula as the main bad guy is a very complex character.
Are you saying that I wouldn't like it because of that?
Yeah, you like really basic, like simple. I don't want to think about it. Is Dracula wearing a funny T-shirt or something?
Listen, I like both.
I'm just kidding. No. I would question it because it's animated and very dark,
Right.
and those aren't necessarily two things that you go in for, usually. But it's very well done, which you
I like a
usually
dark
do.
show if it is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll rewatch the 3 seasons and then I'll decide if I should rewatch them again with you.
Okay. What have you been listening to anything good? I like to catch up with you on. This is like really when we get to talk, so I'm just
This is the one time where Billy's in bed, we're actually together. I'm not playing board games. You're not out with your friends.
right.
No, we just did What Are You Listening To a couple weeks ago, and nothing's really changed
yeah.
too much. I tried to listen to Tennis, one of our favorite bands, on Spotify, but it was on my phone, not my computer, and I don't have premium. So it literally played one Tennis song and then went into like 10 songs by other artists.
Yeah.
So this is not what I want.
Gotta make a playlist.
Yeah, but it's still dumb on your phone.
I know,
Like
it's really
it
annoying.
still jumps out of your playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very annoying.
I just got to bring my laptop around with me everywhere.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
And then, yeah, podcasts are all the same. The Headgum Network just started another podcast called the Headgum Podcast, which is just like all the different hosts of the shows coming on and like bullshitting for 45 minutes and like making fun of each other. It's funny. It's very, very light listening. they all kind of rag on the host throughout the show, and then the running bit is every episode everyone just leaves early, and so by the end it's just him by himself, like signing off. Other than that, same stuff, same podcast, same music. What about you?
So I just listened to, during the pandemic, one of my favorite podcasts, Glowing Up, came back. And recently one of their guests was Lauren Lapkus, who we both love. And I know she's on like a bunch of podcasts, but I honestly don't have the time or patience to listen to all of them.
She's on
too many.
She's on the most podcasts.
She is. And I can't, I would like to listen to them, but sometimes it's just too many. I can't focus. So, but she did say that Freedom is coming back. And that one I do listen to.
Oh, yes.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah. But she said she didn't know how they were going to record that because she didn't think it would work on Zoom. So stay tuned. I'll let you guys know next time I talk to Lauren Lapkus.
They can distance the three of them for 45 minutes.
Well, she said they might sit in a backyard with really long cords.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought about having guests on and just running a cord out to the deck and having someone sit outside.
Oh my God, that would be really funny.
We could live stream that one.
It would only work if we could get the headphones to work.
I know. I'm mostly kidding. But if anyone wants to guest and sit outside on our deck. Anything else?
No, that's all.
All right. Are you sure you don't want to continue to discuss Dragon's Dogma?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm real good.
If you have other suggestions for shows for us to watch, you can email us at trybypilot@gmail.com. You think that was too fast? Should I say it slower?
Yeah, just say it one more time.
Okay. trybypilot@gmail.com. You can go onto Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at trybypilot. And you can go onto Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, formerly known as iTunes. And you can subscribe to our show and leave a review. It would be very helpful. And you can tell some friends about it.
Yeah, please do that. We would like to remind everybody to vote.
Yes, that is our We're Just a Couple of Dopes Who Watch TV, but there's also important stuff happening in the world segment for this week again.
Yes. So
Vote.
Vote. And we also want to say thank you to the Beats for providing our theme music.
Please don't make us using voting for our segment in vain, because after November we won't be able to, and we'll actually have to come up with real content for the segment.
There's plenty of real content.
I don't know. Everything seems pretty hunky-dory to me.
Jesus. That's why we need to vote.
Hey, this episode's coming out 3 weeks from now, and I assume everything is fine.
I assume everything. Well, then you haven't been awake during this year.
How could it possibly get any worse?
I know. Oh, God.
Jinx. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watching